bring our first guest on, and he goes by the name of ARIAN with a nice little graphic with him today. ARIAN, what's this graphic say? We can't really see it.
Can't hear. Can you hear him?
Okay.
Oh, I can hear him.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if it pops up on stream. It says every masterpiece has its cheap copy. You have Richarlison at the top, and then you have the cheap copy. Yeah, you got Kane, Lewandowski, you got R9, Haaland, Mbappe. They're all, just names. You got the real masterpiece. You have Richarlison. What a performance! As Richarlison's biggest advocate, obviously, let's be serious for a minute. We have Lion City Sailors. Bit of a, they're sailors, right? At the end of the day. So I don't want to read too much into that Richarlison's level. But I think one thing that was very obvious about this performance and last performance is, first of all, Kane was pretty atrocious both games. He seems to be dropping deep too much and kind of interfering with our midfield, and he doesn't play on the line. He doesn't really, push the center backs as much. I said this during the panel. I said this even in the last post-match fan show. I don't think Kane is adapting to the system as well as Richarlison is, at least as quickly as he is, right? And that's becoming a bit of a problem. And the first game, Richie really just had a confidence and finishing problem. And I'm not saying that now suddenly he can finish and he's going to go score 30 goals a season. But I'm saying maybe he needed a little bit
25, though. That's what you're saying.
25, 26, maybe a golden boot. No, but I think he needed a confidence boost. And I hope he can use this to kind of kick off against, Shakhtar, bit of better opposition, and hopefully Barcelona, and then you go to Brentford, all that. Maybe, he comes off the bench, scores a goal. It's the confidence that he really needs. That's really my main concern. And if Kane goes, whether or not we buy a replacement, I think Richie at least has shown in the West Ham game, even though he didn't score, I think the way his movement really helped us a lot. And I think, if he can really just get a finishing touch more consistently, I think he can be a really important player for us. And hopefully he can use this to build his confidence. That's really what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, look, ARIAN, I agree with that. And he did put the ball in the back of the net 5 times today. And actually, the ones that were offside were probably his better finishes on the day. But tell me, which one was more shameless? Him doing the pigeon dance against this mob, or Vinicius doing the Mbappe celebration against Marine?
Oh, it's got to be. No, come on, it has to be Vinicius. The best part about what Vinicius did was, what was it? His third goal, where he basically, I think it was on the line after a mistake, and just smashed it. I think that was the best part about Vinicius's shamelessness. It was definitely Vinicius all the way.
ARIAN,
and look, one thing.
Go on.
I was gonna say, you look at these opposition, this level in preseason, and it's not like we haven't played crap teams before. You have what was it last? No, I think it was the Nuno season where we played, who were they? Colchester, and we played like shit. I think we ended up winning that game, but it was absolute shit. And then there was another one
Motherwell or something.
There you go. Like we play these teams and we don't win 5-1. We win 2-1. We win 3-1. And we play like shit the whole time. So even though we have these crappy teams, we still the performance is important. Yeah.
ARIAN, we got the first look of Son in pre-season in a left wing position. A few question marks, maybe how adaptable he is going to be to how possible he wants his left wingers to play. How do you think he got on today in the first look there?
Look, I don't think he was as bad as the people are making him out to be. I think he actually had some really good moments on the left, had some link-ups with Madison and Udogie. I don't think he was actually particularly really bad. I don't some people were saying he was horrible performance. What I do think though is I don't really see the inverted wingers working with Ange. I don't think they're working quite that well. Kulusevski, again, same thing, especially because of his right. I think again both of them were getting in really good positions and they had some really good moments. But Kulusevski, his weak foot was letting him down time and time again. And I think Son was just a little bit rusty. I think they both had some problems, but the inverted winger thing doesn't seem to be working too much with the Ange system. I don't know if that's because of the players, because again, Solomon actually, he was an inverted winger in the first game and he had a brilliant game. So I don't know what that really is. But neither Son nor Kulu are playing, at full capacity in that role. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they just need time. I don't know if they just have Conte ball drilled into them, but I don't really think, I'm not being sold on that vision. Solomon's impressed me more than both of them. And, I think Son's not nimble and agile enough to play kind of that left inverted wing. And his crosses were letting kind of a disappointment the whole time. And Kulu getting in really good positions, but he's taking a touch and he's trying to cut it back with his right foot or something, or taking a shot with his right foot, and his right foot's just not that good. I don't think he can work down the right. He kind of likes to go down the middle. That's where Kulu's always been the best under Conte. Even he goes from the right, takes these runs into the middle, kind of like Iron Robin, cuts inside, right? And that's where he's best. But in an Ange system, the wingers are supposed to stretch the pitch, and we don't see that too much with Kulu or with Son. And I think that's really the biggest problem. So I don't know. I think maybe they should be tried elsewhere. And Kulu maybe down the middle. Sorry if you hear the dogs.
Show us the dog, Ariane.
There's 3 of them actually.
3.
Well, one of them's back, but these 2 are just having a.
They're disagreeing. I think they're disagreeing with you.
Maybe they are. But yeah, I think maybe they should just try out different roles. Like I would like to see Decky down the middle where Madison's playing sometimes. I would like to see Son on the other side, maybe even as a striker if like Kane goes and we're stuck with just Richarlison and Son. I don't know. I think either they need more time. But Son, I'm going to give him time because I think Son, he just came back from an injury. He needs to adapt. He had good moments. I think Son was more adaptable to that role than Kulu was. I think down the right, Kulu needs some work.
Ariane, talk to me about Giovani Lo Celso, a player that has impressed in both games now. One of, he's scored in both games. Do you think that he's here to stay, and do you think he should be getting a starting role at the start of the season?
How long have you got? Look, if you can get a midfield of, this is maybe a little bit like the Højbjerg, Lo Celso, and Ndombele dream, but if you can get Lo Celso, Madison, and Bissouma in the same midfield, I really want to see that because wow, Madison was good, but Lo Celso was just on a different level, different gravy. Like I said last time, I didn't know he had these things in his locker: his passing, his movement, his shooting. I don't know if it's improved or if this is just a system he's born to play. He was orchestrating things so much better, and it's something that you look at the team, you could immediately criticize and say, oh, well, it's just these farmers, but he did it against West Ham, and more importantly, he did it so much better than we did in the first half. The way he can, just go, the threat he provides is ridiculous, and I love that bite that he has, so he's not useless defensively as well. That's another thing. He's magnificent, and he was probably part of the reason that we, like Richie looked so much better than Harry. I'm not, it wasn't all on Richie. I mean, Lo Celso was creating absolutely everything down the middle. I really hope he's here to stay. Ange made a comment about him saying, oh, you don't have to go all the way to Spain. I love working with him. He seems to like working here. So I really hope he stays. And I think so far, out of all the midfielders out of anyone, I think Lo Celso has been the player of preseason easily.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Ange has actually spoken about Lo Celso. He asked about the reports in Spain that Ange might want him to stay. He says, I'm here, mate. You can just ask me. You don't have to go all the way to Spain. I'm really happy with Gio. He's been really good in training. You can see he's a quality player, and I think the way we play suits him. I've enjoyed working with him, and I think he's enjoying himself in terms of the football we want to play, and it's going well. So sounds very positive from Ange on Giovani Lo Celso. Who else maybe impressed you during that friendly?
I'm gonna obviously say, got the graphic up here. Richarlison, I do think he just genuinely did play well, better than Harry even. Solomon again, really good. Perisic, and the way he started that half, Perisic, Jesus Christ, ridiculous performance. And then, Sarr, I think he started a little bit shaky, doing a little too much and making a little bit of fouls. But, maybe in the second, half of the first half, he came into his own. Sarr was magnificent in that, I think he was brilliant. Bissouma, of course. Those are really the standouts. And I want to give a shout-out to someone who I think has been kind of maybe too criticized. I want to talk about Vicario because I think, what is it? He's faced 4 shots, and he's conceded 3 of them, and so people are looking at that and saying, "Oh, Jesus Christ, he's horrible." I want to say that I actually, the goal really was not on Vicario. It was an episode of yet another example of horrendous defending. And we're not going to talk about who gave the ball away, but you have some moments in the very beginning before he actually conceded where he rushed out of. There was one moment that he rushed out of his goal and he headed that ball clear.
Yeah, that diving header.
And I'm not used to that in a keeper, and I think stuff like that. And he was actually good distribution wise with his feet, and I think that's what he was brought to bring to the team. And people are going to look at that corner that he gave away under pressure. That really, it was a crappy back pass more than it was his fault. And say, oh, well, look, he's crap and we should have gone for Raya, cheaper option. Yeah, I actually think Vicario in these 2 games hasn't been as poor as people are making him out. I think he's actually been more good than bad. He's adapting to a new side. He just came from from the Serie A to the Premier League, and well, he hasn't played Premier League opposition yet, but to this Ange team, and he's adapting just like everybody else is. And I think he's shown signs of promise. And I just want to kind of come here and say I'm behind him. I don't think he's been poor. And I'm excited to see him actually. Some people were saying, oh, he's already a dud. I don't want that. I want to give him a shout out. I think he's actually been pretty decent.
All right, big up Vicario. If you're watching, Arian is with you, and so are we as well here in the studio. But Arian, thank you so much for coming on today. We'll see you next time.
Of course, and as always, come on, you Spurs!
Come on.